Good morning. Good morning. We here yet again, another day, another blessing. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Facebook. I hope all is well with you all. Today is Wednesday. If you have not observed just yet, today will be the devotions. These live on a morning is done Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. If I do, I will repost on a Thursday, one that we did previously, and then we have the dream interpretation on Friday. So I hope all is well. It's 8 o'clock or thereabout. So I'm hoping that we will go for about half an hour or so this morning. You like my scarf? My grandmother knitted this for me. Beryl Maudlin Rogers. She only back fancy, but my back outside and things, so I don't want to put it out. So I hope that Facebook you all are hearing me clearly. And well, I know YouTube is normally good. It's just that you all will have to face the brunt of the bad lighting this morning. Facebook lighting is not too bad. Um, so today we're gonna do a topic that is not one that is too popular, but it is a much needed discussion. A much needed discussion, right? So we're going to talk about double mindedness and its payments because there are payments for double mindedness. The payments might be from God because when we read the scripture, you all will understand why I say the payment may not be from God. But double mindedness is something that we need to take into consideration. We need to look at if it is that you are someone that is double minded, right? So this morning's scripture would be taken from James 1, verse 6, all the way to verse 8, right? And from verse 6, it says, but let him ask in faith. And the scripture just before that, it spoke about exactly what we spoke of, which was wisdom the other day. So we're going to read from verse 5 instead. From verse 5 says, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God that giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. A double minded man is unstable in all his ways. You know what is all his ways? That means in every part of your life, there would be instability because of double mindedness. There was a spoken word poetry piece that I wrote some years ago, and the name of it was Double Minded Payment. What it basically spoke of is that so long as you are someone that cannot make a solid decision and stand on it, you run the risk of your life being just as your decisions, because it is of a true saying that the decisions that you make in life is reflective of the life that you live now. Very true, because every circumstance or every situation that we are in life comes as a result of our decisions. Most of them, I would say. Now, there are situations that happen unforeseen in which we have no control over. No, that is another topic, that is another direction. But the things that are unforeseen, you have no control over it, but you do have the power based on the decisions that you make. in order to see the outcome of how that situation persists. So, for example, God forbid, someone that got in a car accident, you may not have foreseen, unless you're a dreamer or unless you're a prophet or something, you may not have foreseen that you would have gotten a car accident. Therefore, the decisions that you make thereafter getting in that accident will tell the outcome of how that situation persists, right? So if you choose to run away from the circumstance and not report it properly and go through the proper procedure, situations can become a bit more difficult than if you make the correct decisions to do the correct things, right? So, oh my word. Hello, good morning.
Hello,
Hi.
good morning, long time, long time, long time, long time.
Good
Please,
morning, Pastor
how far?
Charles. How are you?
I'm doing great, and you?
I'm good, but guess what? I'm currently in the middle of a Facebook and YouTube live, and I know you all are
Okay,
a couple hours, about 5 hours ahead. You're about a couple hours ahead of us, but I'll call you back before the day's up.
okay, you're on YouTube Live?
Yeah, I am actually on YouTube and Facebook live. You can join us if you wish.
Okay, okay. Is it so something they can link? Can one join the link, or you are just addressing?
Um, I'll send you the link now. I'll see if I'll forward the link to you now.
Okay, okay, all right. So let me know this stuff.
All right, no problem.
So all right, we get to talk when you're done.
I'll call you back. Yeah, no problem. Sorry about that. I just had to, but I had to take that call. So, double-mindedness is something that can affect your life seriously if it is that you do not take control of it. It can control you because what would now happen is your decisions would not only affect you, but it would also affect the people that are around you and are part of your life. The harsh part about double mindedness is you tend to regret not making a decision earlier on in life rather than later because you would have lost so much time. So much things could have been done. You could have taken so many procedures, so many things that is lost along the way. I've seen I've seen the payment, I've seen people walk in the payment of double mindedness, and it is really something that is heart wrenching to look at, right? Because it takes so much to get from a double minded place that it is serious and important that one actually puts themselves in a position that God could deliver them because it's a mindset. Double mindedness is a mindset. It's not only a mindset, but too often practice, it becomes a way of life. Whereby, if you are someone in an organization and it's an important organization and your decisions depend upon it, it puts everyone else below you in a position where they as well suffer the consequence of your double mindedness. And it is something that you would eventually have to answer to God for because you're not only playing with your life, you're also playing with the life of people below you. And where things could have shift or move for the persons that are below you, their blood will now be upon your hands because of your double mindedness. If you are someone that is in leadership in a company or anything of that nature. So the wavering of your faith, not just the wavering of your faith, because your faith waver is what causes your decisions to be wavered as well. In that wavering, it puts life not on pause, but it puts it in a place where it's unstable continuously and it gives no valid room for settlement. it doesn't give much room for settlement. And I am certain that everyone desires settlement in their life. So as long as you see a circumstance going one way this today, and because you see the circumstance going good today, you're all right, you're on the good track. But when you see the circumstances start to go bad, you jump on the next train. And when you jump on the next train, you go along that pathway until you see things start to go bad again. Then you jump back on this side. That is double mindedness in itself. If you are one that circumstances cause you to sway left or to sway right, it means that situations control you unconsciously. Circumstances control you unconsciously and you have not recognized it. It means that there is not one actual focal point of what you have set your mind and your purpose on, and you're working towards that in spite of what happens. Your word is supposed to be your bond, but in such a case, your word will not be able to be trusted because it means that if you are willing to risk your life so deeply, whereby you have yourself in a position that you are here today and on this side today and over here today, and if you can risk your own life this and people recognize that you are risking your life based on the decisions that you make, it would be very difficult for anyone to, I wouldn't say put their trust in you, because at the end of the day humans is not to be trusted. As God said, put your trust in him. But at least there is supposed to be a measure of safety, because you are first safe in yourself. If you are not safe in your own self, everything and everyone else around you is also not safe. It takes determination to develop a mindset, but let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. But if it is you have already asked God for something, you set your heart, you set your mind on this particular goal, and you have already laid it before God and say, all right, God, this is the situation. And you realize that God has stamped his approval on it. Come hell or high waters, you have to be the person that says, come hell or high waters, God has approved of this. I have laid this before God. And no matter what the circumstances look like now, I know that because God is for me in the midst of the matter, that he is God and he will bring it to pass. But as long as that very thing in which you laid before God, you also see it in the physical, looking like it's not going in the direction of your favor, and you decide, you know what, you're switching from it. Is it that you do have faith in God? Is it that you actually stand on what you know God has approved of concerning you? Or you move or you shift based upon what you see physically? Every one of these lives that we do, the first thing that I always jump to is self assessment. Where are you? Are you someone that is unstable in your thinking, in your mindset, that you're here today, you're over here tomorrow? Because guess what? Going along in life, it will always be like that. Therefore, your trust itself is not in God, but your trust is in the actual thing that you're waiting on. And it is now a possibility that being granted that thing, you can now put your whole life hang upon whatever it is that thing is or what you're believing God for. But once it is you set your heart, your mind, you are anchored on God for what you have placed before him, what you know he has approved, the double mindedness needs to depart. Even if it comes to the point of, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. God has approved, God has said that it will be so. Stand, believe, and trust that it will be so. Not wavering in your mind, not wavering in your thinking, but continue pressing forward. What causes persons to waver when they see things physically not go the way that they hope that it would have gone is fear. Fear that it may not happen, or fear of what will happen. And the fear of what will happen can actually cause you to cling to what you actually see in the moment, thereby causing you to waver. But if you are solidified in yourself that if God approve of something, do you think that God will approve of something that he know will fail you? Do you think that he will approve of something that he know is not good substance in which you will obtain at the end of the road? Know that if God approve of it, it means that it is not just of good substance, but he knows what he approve. And anything that God approve is already excellent. Even though the state that you are seeing it in is not in its excellent state. So continue traveling along the journey, continue walking along the path, because know that at the end thereof is where you will actually see the excellence of the manifestation of the blessing. But if you continue to be over here, then over here, then over back over here, and you sway with every wave and wind that comes along life's journey, that is what you're going to continue to do, and you are going to continue being an unstable person. You are going to continue along stating in life, and this is a statement that you will be making, that I will be unstable. It is good to plant your feet. If you have set something before God and you say, God, this is what I would like, this is what I want, this is the desire of my heart. Do you approve of it? Is it cleansed before you? Is it purified? And once God has said yes, show me a man that can tell you no. Show me someone born of a woman on the face of this earth that can tell you no. If God is for you in this circumstance and he says that he approves, who can say no? Only you yourself can tell you no by wavering. Because in wavering, you stay right where you're at. And little do we know, we don't recognize that. In wavering, it is stagnancy. There is no direction in wavering. Wavering leaves you at the point because you go and you sway with what you see in the current moment. But the excellent finish is still before you. But because you sway in the moment, you stay stagnant. This morning, I encourage someone, if you are one that is double minded, if you are one that is unstable in your decisions, unstable in your emotions, unstable in how you think about things, sit down, prioritize. Prioritize what is truth of what God is showing you, signs of what He approves of, and prioritize what is truth of what God is showing you to move. Keep walking from. That being, keep on a straight direction, even when you see distractions come on the left or distractions come on the right, to try and sway you from the goal, the end product. Keep your eyes set forward, because the excellency and the fullness of not just what you desire, but what God has now approved of, because it means that if God has stamped his approval on it, it means that it now is God's desire as well for you, because it fits into his plan for your life. So it means that the plan ahead for your life is God's plan now for your life, But if you continue to waver in that moment, you continue to waste time in that little space, going around in circles because you're looking for the most favorable circumstance in the time. So when you stand in that which is favorable in the moment, the greatest favor of all time is awaiting you at the excellent end and the expected end. But when you stand in the favor of the moment, that could be a 30% favor and 100% favor is waiting for you on the end. That could be a 50% of grace, but 100% of grace is waiting for you to have a straight mindset that says, here, oh God, this is what I've already set before you, and I'm not moving from it. Cut and go through. And God will say, now you're ready. Let's go. Right? So I want to leave you all with this morning. So the scripture that we took was James 1 from verse 5 to verse 8, and I will read it again and leave you all with this because I have caught this morning for a very early time and I am not yet ready. Right? So I have to go and get ready. So let me read the scripture again. It says from James 1, verse 5, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. A double minded man is unstable in all his ways. So, if you do not remember the rest of the scripture for this morning's devotion, I want you to remember that. A double minded man is unstable in all his ways. It means that in your works, you will be unstable. In your mind, you will be unstable. In your relationships, you will be unstable. With your whether a workplace, your business, you will be unstable. In everything that you do, it will reflect instability. And it is not some place that you want to be if you eventually desire stability in your life. So physical life, stability, then for you to receive rest, for you to receive the actual peace of God that surpasses all understanding. It comes with a stable mindset that makes stable decisions, that foresees a stable future. So this morning, our goal today, I wouldn't say this morning, work through it to the day. If you listen to this now or if you listen to it after, work through your mind. Get rid of the instability and get stable if you actually want stability to be the smooth sailing of your future. So I'm going to leave you with that this morning as I go forward and get ready to start my day. I know some probably would have already gone to work. Some would have already been on the road. So yeah. So don't forget, single and cultivated, cultivated and married turns one. We are celebrating on the 29th of September. Those who desire to come and celebrate with us, the venue will actually be given only to the guests because it's a private location and we ain't looking for no surprises this time. And so the location will only be announced to the actual persons who are on the guest list, right? So call me, message me if it is you want tickets. We have general admission tickets and we have all inclusive tickets where you will gain access to the food, the drinks, everything that we have in store, right? So look out for that. 29th of September, come, you're going to enjoy yourself. It is proven it's going to be a nice time. So I leave you all. Have a good day. May God bless you and keep you, and all the best.